We got a Wednesday night slate of NBA games. I'm Madelyn Burke for the game day here with Albert Wen at Analytics Capper on social. And Albert, got to start with this Warriors-Pacers game. The Dubs are wrapping up back-to-back road games. They're a 2-point underdog visiting the Pacers Wednesday night. The Warriors are playing their fourth game on a 6-day road trip. What are you thinking of this one?
That's a great point you bring up, Maddie. Anytime a team plays 4 games in 6 nights, I fade them. But in this case, I actually like to back the Warriors. Steph Curry was out a couple games ago with a really weird illness right before the jump ball against the Hornets. So he's pretty fresh. James Wiseman is back. He's fresh, obviously, an athletic 7-footer that really runs the rim very well. So he's going to give him a plus offensively, and definitely he's going to protect the rim on the defensive end. If you look at the Pacers, they're actually a pretty poor home team. They're 6-10 against the spread at home this season, including 1-4 in their last 5. Sabonis, I think he's a great player. He just got snubbed by the All-Star team, but I just don't think they have enough weapons. I do like the Warriors tonight.
Yeah, and the Pacers also, they haven't played since February 17th. Some might look at that and say, well, they're rested, but personally, I think rust might be a factor getting out of rhythm of that NBA cycle. All right, moving on to the Raptors-Heat game. Eric Spoelstra said recently, I see a lot of inconsistent teams in the East, and we are one of them. But one thing to remember, too, both teams, they've been playing pretty well as of late. Miami's won the last 3. Toronto's going 4-1 in the last 5 games. But the Heat are hosting their first home game since February 9th. What are you thinking of this one?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this game specifically because you have 2 teams that were actually 2 of the best teams last year in the bubble. You had the Raptors and the Heat. Obviously the Heat made the finals. The Raptors were making noise in the playoffs. But what's going on with them this season? Raptors are 16-16. Coach Spo has the Heat at 14-17. So they're both pretty mediocre. But you're right. They're teams that are trending upwards. Miami has won 3 straight. I like them tonight because Tyler Hero is back, Jimmy Butler and Bam is there. If Goran Dragic is back, that's even a bigger plus, but they are playing a lot better as of late, and I see them continuing that trend. The Raptors, on the other hand, they are a good team. They know how to play in the big games. I like them only against the elite teams in the East, so when they play the Bucks or the Sixers or the Nets, those are the angles that I look for the Raptors, but in this case, 2 500 ball clubs. I like Miami tonight.
All right, now we got a powerhouse matchup in the West. Lakers, Jazz. The Jazz, of course, the best record in the league. A top 4 offense and a top 4 defense against this Lakers team that's been, struggling in these close ones lately. Albert, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the Lakers are 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. There's no Anthony Davis. LeBron James is playing way too many minutes. A big loss that no one's really talking about right now is Dennis Schroeder due to contact tracing and COVID-related protocols. He's been out. Well, one thing that's surprising to me when I was researching this game, we all know Utah's a great team. They shoot a lot of threes. They pass the ball around. They're awesome in terms of just getting good shots. But it's actually the Lakers who average more assists per game this season. Obviously, that takes a hit with AD being out. There's no easy buckets around the rim. But that did jump out at me. I think they are a great passing team. But without AD tonight, I have to side with the Jazz. The Jazz are on fire. They're 9-1 in the last 10. They have the biggest point differential in the league at 9.5 points. 14-2 currently at home. I don't think they're a team right now that you can fade against. It's either Jazz or nothing. They are a dominant team. They remind me kind of like the Hawks, Coach Bud and the Hawks a few years ago when they won 60 games. We don't know how they're going to do in the playoffs, but the difference between this game and that team is they have Donovan Mitchell. And so they have that at least very elite one-on-one player. For this game specifically, I do like Utah until they start losing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got to remember, too, the Lakers, they lost a 17-point second-half lead in an overtime loss to Washington on Monday. After that, Kyle Kuzma says it takes a whole team to collectively get wins, and right now we have 2 of our main rotation guys out, as you mentioned, Anthony Davis and Dennis Schroeder. So this is going to be a tough one, but the Jazz, I think, are proving that this isn't a fluke. They are to be taken serious in the Western Conference and in this league. And hey, for more Jazz, Lakers, and other betting tips, as well as the latest odds and special offers, head to thegameday.com.